divorced the father of my children, and he hid my children from me for about 6 weeks prior to our divorce, and I didn't know where they were. We were getting ready to go to court, and I was out by a lake one night. It was the first time I had ever audibly heard out loud God's voice. And he said to me, "Let them go, and I'll bring them back." And I'm turning and looking over my shoulder, thinking there's somebody there. And he said it again. And I went to court the next day, and I did exactly what he told me to. I gave my children to an alcoholic, a man that abused drugs. His idea of going for a drive was with a cooler of beer and my children in the car. 18 months later, my daughter came to live with me. 4 years later, my son came. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. A few weeks ago, well, it was back in August, I have been arguing with God for about 3.5 years about this tithing thing. I just did not see how I could possibly do that because I don't make a lot of money. And I kept thinking, oh my gosh, if I tithe this money, that's gas money for a whole month. So I kept arguing back and forth with him about it. And then one Sunday morning on my way to church, I was backing out of the driveway, looking over my left shoulder. And he said, "Aliece, you're stealing from me." And I just, put on the brakes and kind of slid around a little bit. And it was like, oh no, he's in the back seat, So I went and talked to Vaughn about that. And I decided that if I was going to trust him with my children, what was the problem with trusting him with the money that I made? Neither of them were mine. And it really made me stop and think about the kind of person, the kind of Christian that I am, that I would trust him with my kids, who are my heart, who are everything to me. But I didn't trust him with the money that I made. So, needless to say, this has been a life-changing event for me. It has changed my perspective about everything. And I think that the secret to the whole thing is just being obedient, just doing what God wants us to do, not just in tithing, but in everything. But I think when it comes to our children and our money, we tend to not want to do that. We're very selfish about it. But it has changed my life. It has changed the way I view everything. And it has made me more conscious of being obedient to him. And I just think it's something that everybody should do. Everybody who proclaims that they're a Christian, that's something that they should do.